Trojan Sports Now.
Well, welcome back to Trojan Sports Now. Joining us now is head coach of the women's basketball team, Chanda Rigby. Coach, thanks so much for making time to stop by today.
Thank you, Danielle. Appreciate it.
Well, heading into the second season now, is it a little easier getting ready to start round two than it was trying to come in and get everything ready for the first year?
Definitely. I think I have my bearings a little better. I know the other conference teams, other conference coaches, a little bit about what they do. I have a few recruits that I recruited in here along with the ones that I coached last year. So it's a better situation.
Well, and looking at those players, how have the players maybe adjusted a little better to trying to even just learn your system and really get that implemented this year?
Well, the returners know. They know that we're going to run and try to shoot within every 13 seconds, and that was so different when I first came in. It was a big difference in what they were used to. So they know and they're acclimated to it. And then the recruits all signed with that in mind, that we were going to have a running system. So, you know, it's all go now.
Well, names like Joanna Harden and Ashley Beverly Kelly are names that Trojan women's basketball fans know, but who are those names that people should really keep an eye out for this year with those new players coming in?
We have a lot of great new players. I can't wait for our fans to see them on the floor. Local player, Kristen Emerson from Prattville. She was a high school standout, led her team to great success last year, and she's just an all-around great player. 6'2", can play anywhere from the 3 to the 4 to the 5. So she'll be on the court. She's been injured for us lately, but the reason we've been holding her out is to have her full speed when we do start the season in a couple of weeks. We have another high school player, Chant Lewis. She's from Louisiana. Great player, athletic guard that can press and run, and has just been really focused in this preseason, knowing she has some tough competition to come in here and try to get some playing time. She's exceeded our expectations. We have some junior college transfers that are really good, and they're very in tune with what we're trying to do, running and pressing.
Now you've gotten into practice, getting ready for the season. What's it been like? What have you seen with these girls getting out there on the court?
Mainly is just the struggle through the level of conditioning we have to play in the system, and they have been warriors through this. I mean, they are very, very much not complainers, and it's tough. It's tough what they go through. They have 5 a.m. workouts. They condition at 6 a.m. They come back for shooting workouts between classes, and then of course our regular practices in the afternoon. And they've done a great job. I haven't heard many complaints. It hasn't taken a lot of external motivation or motivation from my part. They're internally motivated.
Now, looking ahead to this season, after seeing the girls hit the court and get ready, what kind of expectations do you have moving into this season?
Well, pre-conference is all about preparing for conference, so we'll see what happens there. The month of November, we have a lot of teams that are really good teams, but ones that we feel we can be competitive with. And of course, we play 6 games. We'd like to go 6-0 in November. That would be a great confidence booster. December, we're calling SEC December because we play, we stepped it up and we go to the University of Tennessee, which is the height of women's basketball. University of Florida Gators come in here and play us in Trojan Arena. We go to University of Alabama. So we play a lot of SEC teams in the month of December, and then so that when we come back in January, we're ready for all Sun Belt Conference play, and we're prepared for that. And this year, you have to be in the top 8 to make the Sun Belt Conference tournament. So it's not like it used to be that everybody gets to go. You've got to earn your position. And so that's on our mind from jump.
Well, talking about SEC December, how big is it for players to come into a place like Troy and have that great experience of being able to go to the mecca of women's basketball, go to play at Tennessee, having the chance to bring in a team like Florida? What does that do for these players as far as just trying to motivate them?
I think it's great because they all grow up and they're in the gym and they all plan to either play for those schools or play against them. You know, they want to play the top level of competition, so this affords them the opportunity. Troy University, you know, they made the decision to come here. They believe in being a Trojan, but this affords them the right for their parents to see them play the University of Tennessee, which everybody that knows women's basketball has seen them. So, you know, it's a great motivator, and there's nowhere tougher to play than University of Tennessee. So we hope we get in there and make it a really tight game, and the crowd has to get on their feet and yell and scream, and we know if we can keep our concentration and play through that, we can play anywhere.
Looking back at last season in preparation for this year, certainly some areas that your team was very strong in, but some areas that maybe were a bigger concern, trying to look at adjusting those areas. What's been the biggest focus looking back at last season and trying to prepare for this year?
If you ask my assistant coaches, they're going to have a completely different answer than myself. I'm an offensively minded coach. Last year we led the entire NCAA men and women's in scoring average for the first 6 weeks of the season. We averaged over 100 points a game. And so I'm pretty concentrated on offense and keep scoring and keep scoring. my assistant coaches remind me that even though we were first in the Sun Belt in points scored last year, we were also first in points given up. And so defense is what we need to be taken care of. And still at practices and at scrimmages, inter-squad scrimmages we're scoring over 100 points in games and things like that, even against each other. But that's the point. We're letting the other team score over 100 points. So my assistants would say defense is the key for us, and they're working on that. In fact, they're meeting about it right now. But for me, I'm staying focused on let's keep scoring, score quickly.
What is the biggest key in trying to get players to buy into that system? Because you mentioned it's a lot of conditioning, and it's a tough conditioning process to get through to be able to keep up that fast pace.
It is, but it's a trade-off, because when you are in top condition and you can play in that system and your teammates have confidence and your coaches are unwavering in that, it's the most fun system to play in. There's no more fun system. I mean, you know, you could go to a school and have a thick playbook and learn 100 plays and always have to walk it up the court and set it up. And that's one thing, but kids today, most of them, they want to get up and down the court and do something fun and show their athleticism, show their skills, and this system affords that.
Absolutely. Now, we mentioned some of the new players that are coming in, but looking at those players who've been here and been with you for a year, who are those leaders that you're really going to look to try and lean on this season?
Well, we have 3 seniors. Joanna Harden is one that came in last year. When I got the job here, she decided to come play for me here, and she was all Sun Belt Conference, and she's up for the Sun Belt preseason Player of the Year. She's so impressive. She's very impressive, and she's a quiet leader. We have Dominique, and we have Brooke Bowie, who a returner. They've been here all 4 years, so we're so proud to have them. They've been here through the whole transition, and they're great leaders. I just left the gym, and Brooke was in there just wearing out the shooting machine, you know, trying to make this senior year her important one. And Dominique brings great energy every day to practice. So we're so blessed to have the 3 seniors that we have, and several more, but those are our seniors.
And we've talked about it many times before, but does the newness of having a facility like Trojan Arena ever really wear off?
No, every day I walk up to that facility, I say my prayers and thanks, and you know, we use it every day in recruiting. It's the backup of our mouthpiece. It is the tangible thing that our administration is committed to Troy women's basketball, and it's a seller.
And I've heard you mention before that not only having Trojan Arena, but having the athletes in this system who've really bought in is also crucial in recruiting.
It is, you know, and I mean, we keep the shot clock on 13 at practice every day, just to know that we've got to keep reminding ourselves we're going to score quickly. But the other day we turned it off just to see, and they're still getting up and down the court. They're buying into it, and they know that's what we're best at. So it's fun.
Now, getting close to the start of the season, got an exhibition match coming up soon that Trojan fans can get out there and get a peek of what's to come for this season. Monday
night, October the 28th. You can come on out. It's free. And we have an exhibition game against University of West Florida, back from Pensacola, where I was from. We don't know much about them, but we're looking forward to it, just playing somebody other than ourselves.
Absolutely. Now, what are the advantages to having an exhibition game on the home court to kind of get yourself ready for the start of the season without it going on the record book?
It gives a run-through for everybody, from the bookkeeper, the stat keepers, to the announcers, to the clock keepers, to the managers, to the coaches, to the players. It's just a warm-up. Doesn't count. It is game regulation time, and fouls and all are the same, and you have officials out there, but it doesn't count for you or against you, and you can really just get out there and, you know, execute what you're working on.
And then, of course, the start of the season coming up just a short time after that.
Yes, we travel to Alabama State and the very next week. And then our first home game is a doubleheader with our men on November the 11th. So we'd love everybody to mark November the 11th on the calendar and come on out for that.
Absolutely. Big opportunity for fans to come out and support the Trojans. But also on November 2nd, there's a big opportunity to be able to come out and get to know the players when they're not on the court, kind of get to have a little bit of a meet and greet.
Fan Day. Come on out. We'll be signing posters and taking pictures and just getting to meet the fans. We hope a lot of kids come out. We'll have some fun things in Trojan Arena. Fan Day is November 2nd.
Well, Coach, looking forward to working with you the rest of the season. Best of luck. Can't wait to get out there and see the Trojans.
We can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach, so much. Stay tuned as we bring you what's coming up this week in Trojan Sports.